All right, folks, I just saw something that I didn't plan on seeing in the charts that independently in unplanned fashion agrees with my recent assessment that Bitcoin will not go below 50K, and that my top three, most likely, of most probable scenarios, not including sub 50K forever until we die, but you know, until we go up at least. Even though both, I don't think it'll ever go below 50K ever again. And because next bear market, I think 80K. But anyway, I saw something that aligns with more of the midterm this year or this month that Bitcoin won't go below 50K. It's my midterm EMA ribbons with a slower moving little dealie in there. So on the 4-hour chart, my midterm ribbons, it shows the interplay of how, you know, Bitcoin corrects, where it finds strength, where it finds resistance. And you can really see that in the wiggly time. So this is like early 2020 when it was wiggling out of the bear market after this huge drop from 14K to like 4K. Yeah, to 4K exactly. And once it pulled out of here and got above this gray line, it played with this exactly. Then it played with it exactly again. That's what she said. And then after it gained confidence on it, skyrocketed. Hasn't touched it, hasn't touched it, hasn't touched it. Now it's touching it. So my first observation was, well, typically when you break one of these, you almost always come back to test it, regardless. And the whole key is that even if you don't stick the landing, when these Stokes come all the way down, you want to make a higher low, which would be around 50K. So if it dips below 50K on a wick on a day, you need to give me a break, right? Could go to 49 for a few hours, whatever. That doesn't count. So the whole key is similar to my, my thought process on Ethereum that ended up working out pretty well in terms of guidance. What is next, depending on what price does when Stokes are here. So Stokes will get here regardless, right? It's depending on what price does. So I fully anticipate it'll either stick this landing or stick 50K. And here's why. Bitcoin this year got too hot too fast. What other coins did this? Ethereum. What year's last bull run? So let's go see what Ethereum did when it was wiggling between two trend lines, or two origin lines. Okay, so this is the 200-day period, right? So look, from the time it broke that to the time it broke it again, 203 days. When it got too hot too fast, got rejected from the origin line, exactly, came down, pierced through the slow moving average on the midterm 4-hour EMA ribbons, which I actually made better. A couple very well-known, some of the biggest crypto trader YouTubers, they took my ribbons idea and they actually made it quite a bit better. I commend them for that. Because that's what you're supposed to do. If you see somebody doing something and you can make it better, like, you freaking need to do it. And they did. They definitely did it. So I think I might have one-upped them. I kind of like the green on it now, but with yellow in the middle, almost like a Roy G. Biv type of deal. But anyway, or a Roy G. So it only broke it once, and when it came back above it, when the Stokes finally went all the way down, price didn't quite stick the landing, but it made a higher low. So it actually hit it twice. Stokes. Then, when it went below it again, when it came back above it, the Stokes were way down here. Made a higher low. I haven't been able to find any coin with a decent amount of price history where once it broke this, not in a bear, bear market, not counting. I mean, a bear market it lived under here. Watch. It's kind of like the week. It kind of like stuck. It's kind of like the weekly 10 or something. Yeah, bear market. Yeah, it kind of works like the weekly 15 or something. It probably equates to that. But anyway, so let's look at Litecoin. So when coins get too hot too fast and they go below that line, I don't see any that go below it twice. Or if they do, they stick a higher landing. I mean, look how freaking perfectly this line, like, look at this. Look how perfect this is. So when it broke below it, it came up, and when the Stokes got all the way down, it made a higher high. I can't find a single coin that made a lower low in a bull market after breaking this. Not one. I can't find one. So similar to how I knew pretty much before everybody else, anybody else, essentially, I could confirm that because the 2-day RSI on Bitcoin had a 100% accuracy hit rate, that when the RSI gets stuck below its RSI moving average and gets rejected twice, 100% of the time throughout the whole life of Bitcoin, that 2-day RSI has gone down to hit the white, reset line at the bottom. This isn't the 2-day, but I'm talking about this line here. 100% of the time since 2011. So why would you bet against that? I know everything looks bullish, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if the macro trend is up. Who cares? Macro trend is from from October 2020. The 100% ratio that I was seeing is from 2011, not 2020. So why would you have bet against that, right? Was my logic. So kind of same here. This is beyond a macro trend of this bull run. This is crypto life trend. I can't find one where it's happened. There you go. That's what I just saw in the charts. These are my midterm ribbons with a slower moving average. And again, price could come right here. Wick. No, that's right at 50K. Yeah, it might wick down to 49.5, okay? But the day's not going to close there. So, closing days. So I guess I could, be wrong intraday by $500, but we're not going to count that. We're going to count daily closes, okay? I should have been specific with my guess. It won't close a day under there. And I actually was already specific earlier. I said it won't close a week. But at that time, I said with a week that it could actually hit 42,000, going down on a wick and come back up. But I don't think that'll happen anymore. I don't think price will close a single day under 50K based off this. And since it didn't scream too much higher than this slow moving average, I don't think it has to come down much harder. I think it's going to land softly on it. Like that. It might not go below 52 something. So let's see if that aligns with some trend line. There you go. And the next one down would be a wick down to here. Could wick to there somewhere. Yeah, on May 3rd. So that's still above 50K. So I don't think it'll go below 50K on a daily close. And if I could put these lines back on, go to the 4 hour. Let's see how those horizontals match up with this. Let's get rid of price. Because the whole point of these ribbons is you don't look at price. Looks pretty good to me. So that's what I saw in the charts in a very independent and unplanned fashion. It aligns with what my most recent analysis for Bitcoin is. So that would also align with Ethereum not going below 1950 or 2000 really. Because look, its slow moving averages here. Even if it comes screaming down to meet it, by that point, this line will be about there at 2000. It could wick past it, actually. It could go something like that. So I guess it could hit 1900. But that would be lowest. So I think the case that it keeps moving sideways and up, in one of the most probables I mentioned earlier, I don't think it's going to hit this bottom trend line. I don't see it happening. I think it's just going to ping it. I think price is going to come down and hit that. So, let's see how it's played with it. Oh, I might want to put price back on. There we go. So look, got it almost perfectly there. Let's see how close it got it there. $15.46, 15. So within $18. $18. So almost perfectly. And look how nicely it got it here when it was crawling out of the bear market. And look how nicely it got the macro movement of the beginning of the bull run, essentially. And then it based off and then proved, hey, this is bull run. Now let's look at how this slow moving average behaves with the origin lines. So here it did a squeeze play. Here it did not. So when it doesn't do a squeeze play, price went above the origin line and used it as a base. It already looks like we're going to get a squeeze play. So to try to get a guess at what's going to happen here, honestly, you know what? Ethereum might do exactly this. Yeah, I think it could do. How do I do this? So this aligns with that second wick up, right? That we just got, which I said would be between what two numbers? 2650 and 2750. Where did this wick come up to? 2716. So I'm going to put this here. Okay, now where do you think that aligns with this slow moving average? So something exactly like that could happen. Honestly, I think it might happen exactly. It might just pierce through. Right. Oh yeah. Check that shit out. And I did not plan that. I didn't plan it. I think that's going to happen. So, shit, that says July. Yeah. Can we cut this? Can we make this shorter? I'm going to make this shit shorter. I don't accept that answer. I want to cut this and put it there. I hope it doesn't take that long. I bet it'd break out a little earlier, but I will try to cut into that maybe. But that type of squeeze play, okay? Who knows? It could take that long. I was saying till July earlier, possibly. So maybe it will take till July. But regardless, the shape and the play and how it will bust out, potentially coming down to 2000, 1900 land, playing this slow moving average on my midterm ribbons. Yeah, let's just leave that there for a while, see how that plays out, with the idea that I will make a line thinking if it busts out earlier, it'll bust out here. Like, honestly, I don't think it'll take that long. Honestly, I bet it goes up. I don't know. It could be a bit. It could be really late June. Shit. All right, I'll do this. There we go. So, I don't know. I think I'm going to erase these. I don't think that's my guess anymore. So I'm going to stick with that fractal playing out, but a little faster. Doing the squeeze play with that slow moving average. So what does that mean for Bitcoin? Honestly, I bet the same damn thing happens. Because it's never gotten too hot too fast like this in a bull run. So yeah, late June. Yep. And actually, this was a good guess. This would align with that. Yeah, that actually what I drew for Bitcoin does align with that almost exactly. Except that means Bitcoin's going to have to go up while Ethereum goes down. Sine, cosine. Do I think that would happen? Probably not. But it could, because it would confuse the shit out of a lot of people. And I bet exchanges would make a lot of money. So exchanges, here's a great idea for you. Now that people's stimulus money is already in your pockets, sine and cosine. Ta-da! Use my referral code. Anyway, you just got late night Timified by